Dave Dillon,
Here.
Lindsay Larson,
Here.
Norris Johnson,
Here.
Cory Pedersen.
Here.
On approval of the agenda, it's my understanding that Tammy has the right to request not a closed meeting, and if that's her wishes. I looked it up, and is that what's in here too, Damien? Is this what's in these letters?
Those are just the closed ones,
Huh?
just closed.
That's the close, oh, okay. Anyway, she has the right to request it be open, so if she wants that open, and I had to give her so many days to say if it's gonna be open as far as the.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay.
And who was the second on that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Yours?
sorry.
Do we have to do?
Lindsay, how do you vote?
Yes.
Cory?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
Pete, yes? Norris?
Aye.
Motion's carried. Okay, moving on to, that's in the budget. Moving on to where's the rest of the agenda? Ordinance 489, water and sewer rates. Did we get it, that as part of the agenda? I did not get any of that.
It's in your packet.
I didn't get any of that in the
The last
packet.
page of your
Yeah.
packet.
Huh?
It's the last page of your packet. At least it was on the internet.
Yeah, it's on the last page of my packet, in the book.
Okay, so it's not in order. Okay,
You moved the agenda around after the
Yes,
packet
yes,
was
yes,
out,
okay.
so.
okay, that's the first, this is the first reading, so only by title, and then it can be acted on at our next meeting, so I'll entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion on it?
At the last meeting, didn't council say that we were gonna revisit this during the next budgetary year?
No, that was the
Norris
zoning
brought
fees.
that up.
That was for
That was for zoning.
zoning, all the zoning fees.
But I thought it was also, because if you look
No.
at the budget,
In the minutes,
yeah,
in the minutes, it says to bring this before council.
yeah,
Okay.
as a first reading.
Yes.
And then we'll have the second reading on the 16th. Question on that is, looking at the budget, they look like they're all pretty good as far as the sewer and the water rates and the balances of them. So why are we raising them, is my question.
I've got the new water meters going in.
Yeah.
And sewer, I think, is been in a deficit.
Well, it doesn't look like that on this year's budget.
They're both deficit on the budget.
On the budget.
Oh, they are? Okay. Okay, it's passing the first reading, so is there anything else you want to look at before the second reading? Is this going to affect you finishing up the budget, but it's an enterprise fund, so it doesn't really matter, does it? Okay. Cory, how do you vote?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
Pete, yes. Norris?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Looks, if I'm reading this right, it looks like these rate increases will add about $1,000 a month each fund.
Are those figured in there?
In the budget?
Yeah. They're not figured in the budget yet?
No.
Okay, till we pass it.
So
Okay,
pretty minuscule rate increase, $1,000 a month for each water and sewer.
Now, there's 2 pages to that.
If you
Scenario
would
one.
like, you could actually suspend with the first reading so that we could finish up the budget. Just a suggestion. Make our December meeting much quicker.
Well, if it ain't gonna matter, because it's an enterprise, there's no reason to do it. Correct?
Say that
It'll
again.
still be reflected in the bottom line
Right.
Yeah, because,
revenues.
Well, why is there scenario 1 and no scenario 2? On the second page. It says scenario 1.
That's just how I see it.
okay,
What?
she just saved it that way.
Oh. Okay. Moving on to, the next thing on the agenda is the house. And the hazardous agreement, and there's a handout for you on the agreement. And, I'll entertain a motion for,
I'll move for approval.
I'll second it.
discussion. This does not include any money he owes Jim prior
No,
to,
no,
huh?
nope, that was on his personal bill.
Because he still owes Jim's Malax disposal that,
This was only for the cleanup.
the cleanup, okay? Yeah,
So what was the agreement, because it wasn't online?
the agreement is
I
that,
mean, for the public to know, what was the agreement?
the agreement was to assess the cleanup.
Okay,
And he
And the
consented
amount.
to it, and he did sign the consent form.
okay.
The amount of the agreement is $10,584.23.
3 cents, yeah.
I do want to make an amendment before I sign it.
Yeah, this is just the rough draft of it, so, yeah,
No.
we'll have a final and,
But
for you to sign.
my name's not spelled right again.
That's all me. It's only been 16 years.
For 40 years and I still get a son instead of a son. So anyway,
Okay. Yeah.
are there any questions? And Damien? Did we just use the old court order? Because I thought we were told we had to get a new court order.
If he didn't agree, we would have had to amend it. The court order.
But see, so why didn't we act earlier than we did?
I don't know
Well, because
why the cleanup wasn't started earlier. I'm under the impression that ownership transferred and that he was doing some work. And I thought the city was basically trying to work with its citizenry to the greatest extent that it possibly could.
Because-
At that point where progress just wasn't being made sufficiently, the decision was just made, we need to do it now. And
Okay.
that meeting took place last week sometime, I think it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the order came down over a year ago.
Correct.
Right, but then if you remember, his brother came in and asked for an extension, and then he wanted another extension, and then it switched owners,
And then they started it.
and then they started it.
Yep.
Yeah,
But then you
process.
said, somebody had told me that we needed a different order.
I don't
Either I
know.
was misinformed or that's what I was under the impression, we were waiting for a new,
Well, I know that there was the new resolution that was presented.
Yeah.
That to be served on him, but
Yeah.
that's different than the court order.
and then on the order, somebody approached me, was that they thought the garage was included in the demolition and that the garage should have been demolished.
And it was not included.
Oh, this person was interested in buying it. And he looked into it and he said he thought the garage was listed as being demolished too, so I think you should check into that.
No, it was the owner's decision that he did not want the garage demolished.
But that ain't my question. My question is, was the garage part of the demolished order?
No, just the house.
I don't think that was declared hazardous, wasn't just the house?
Just the
I
house
thought they
was.
both were, that's what I'm asking. And
just the
I
house.
certainly pulled the order, my recollection was it was the one structure that was inspected and was, you know, acted upon. But I'll
Okay.
have Jackie pull the file.
pull the file on that. Yes.
But by not taking down the garage, you are actually breaking your own ordinance, because our ordinance says you cannot have a garage on it without a principal structure on a lot.
I think there's gonna be a principal structure going up there shortly,
Okay.
so. Okay. So you'll get me a clean copy of this and then we'll go from there. Any other questions?
Nice to have done.
Dave, how do you vote?
Aye.
Pete, yes. Norris?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
Corey?
Aye.
Motion carries. At this time, we're gonna close the meeting, and Damien has asked me to read something, here. The agenda item for this meeting is to discuss both strategies for labor negotiations, as they pertain to the law enforcement union contract, as well as to discuss and consider terms of an offer to purchase some real estate. This portion of properly noticed meeting of the Malacca City Council will be closed pursuant to the Minnesota statutes under closed meeting for labor negotiations, strategy exceptions to the Minnesota open meeting law pursuant to Minnesota statute 13D03 and under the real estate sale or purchase exception to the Minnesota open meeting law pursuant to the Minnesota statute section 13D.05 subdivision 3A 3, the need for confidentiality outweighs the purpose served by the opening meeting law in case-based following. Confidentiality is necessary to protect the city's negotiation strength interest both as labor negotiation, real estate negotiation. The purpose of the closed meeting is not to make a decision behind closed doors, but instead to determine what action should be appropriate with respect to labor contract negotiations. And I'm just gonna add a little note there, that means that we will not make a decision, all we're doing is strategizing. The only business to be discussed in this portion of the meeting are labor contract negotiation, real estate negotiations. And I will say strategy to that without any vote and what action any should be taken. And we can't make any motion on it. I will now entertain a motion to close this portion of the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Is there a reason we had to read that all tonight?
So we want to read a script, and it's, the rules, the statute requires.
Well, I know.
Recite the purpose for why, the basis for closing the meeting, and
So why haven't we done this before?
I honestly don't know the answer.
Okay, I'm just asking you. You know, that's
Because
good.
we were slacking on.
Yeah, bull crap. Okay, so I'll entertain a motion.
Oh, we already got the motion.
Who made it?
Norris and then
Norris,
Corey.
Who
seconded
seconded
by Corey.
Corey.
Any discussion on the motion? Pete votes yes. Norris?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
Corey?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
Motion carried. Closed session. The council will now go into closed session.
At what time, Pete?